I try not to put too many what I think are like really obvious horses in my horses to follow, but I've got to put Corbetts Cross because I strongly believe that Corbetts Cross is the Grand National winner this year. Already rated 166 over fences, I thought his form last year was very good, but I think there's plenty of reasons why I wouldn't be wanting him to run in the Gold Cup, for example, or not going there with expectations of winning. A few reasons include, we can see that he didn't win all of his races last year. He finished third on his return behind Grange Clare West and Hartwood, over 2.5 mile. Then he stepped up slightly in trip and won. Then he went up to 3 mile and got beat by Grange Clare West. Then he went to Fairy House and actually fell. Granted, he probably would have won if he'd stood up. Then went to Cheltenham for the 3 mile 6 race, or just shy of 3 mile 6, and won that very, very impressively, demonstrating his stamina, and then dropped back in trip and went into open company against the older horses and finished third behind Jerry Colombe and Ahoy Senor. Now, Jerry Colombe could well be a Gold Cup horse. I do think he might find he gets outpaced and then stays on. Ahoy Senor isn't quite Gold Cup class, and Corbetts Cross got beat by both of those. Now, I know he was a novice, but for me, if he was going to be a Gold Cup horse, I think he should have beaten Ahoy Senor at Aintree, but he shouldn't have so many defeats to his name already, like, you know, behind the likes of Grange Clare West, Hartwood, Jerry Colombe, Ahoy Senor. There's 4 horses already there that have beaten him over similar trips to the Gold Cup. And there's others that you also have to include. Fast or Slow, Galopin des Champs. There's a few others that I can't think off the top of my head. With that in mind, they should target this one at the Grand National. Obviously, he was a very, very impressive winner over 3 mile 6 at Cheltenham. He jumped, travelled, went clear, was just ridiculously impressive, beating Embassy Gardens. Embassy Gardens is a good sort himself. Had previously been running in graded races, ended up running at Punchestown in a grade 1 subsequently. He's a very good horse himself, Embassy Gardens. And Corbetts Cross over that marathon trip made him look very moderate. That's why I think Corbetts Cross should be aimed at the Grand National, not at the Gold Cup. We already think there's probably 3 or 4 in front of him in the Gold Cup. Do I have something that I think would be in front of him for the Grand National? No. I think he is the perfect type for the Grand National. He jumps, he travels, he stays. There's no negatives about him really, and I hope Emmett Mullins aims him at the feature handicap rather than the Gold Cup itself.